Bonjour. Ok, we will start. Bonjour, chers visiteurs de webinaire. Je suis heureux de vous présenter la plateforme iRidium. J'aime le France, mais je vais continuer en anglais. Sorry, but you can still text some message to our chat, and we have a specialist who can help you with it. But this webinar will be in English language. And if you will have some question, please text it in our chat and our specialists will help you. Okay, let's start. This webinar will be related with one thing. It's about moving from Lifedomus to iRidium Mobile. We will talk about our platform, about our product, webinar rules. The first, thanks, sorry, stop video, please. Okay. The first things, it's right question along the way. Answers will be given at the QA session. In the chat, you can ask questions in French, English, and German. The duration of webinar is 40 minutes, and QA session about 20 minutes. The webinar, of course, will be recorded. But the QA session will be not will be recorded, because all of this about our conversation. Sometimes it can be about some private data. Well, it will be online only. For all questions, please contact us at contact@iridiummobile.ru. And as I said, we can speak with you on French, English, and German. Special thanks for person Olivier Nadot and Philippe Piot. It's two guys who help us with active testing and organizing this webinar. Well, thank you very much, guys. It was a very valuable. Our agenda for this webinar, what can iRidium Mobile offer to Lifedomus integrators? We have two products which can be interesting for you, iRidium Pro and KNX Home Server. How to earn with iRidium Mobile, and what's next? What next steps? And of course, it will be all about some QA session, some question. If you have some technical question or some commercial question, please ask it in our chat. And of course, I am Alexander Romanov, and I am CTO, and I am a technical guy. And if you have some question about technical things, please be free, text it in our chat. Okay, what is it, iRidium Mobile? iRidium Mobile now, we have been on the market since 2006, and our team is 55. And what is the important things? It's about 72 countries each year. It's our every year we sell our product to this country. We are very multicultural and very we have a good experience with multi-country. Well, we have a lot of certified specialists, and this this count will be shared with you on our website. And of course, our project annually, it's a lot. Well, very fast thing about our projects. We started with home automation. It means with a smart home for some flats, for house, etc. But now we have a big platform for some different markets, for different things. And this is like some example about it. Hilton Hotel, the Netherlands, Amsterdam, and in Russia, Yeltsin Center, it's some offices, and Medicare Women and Children Hospital in Dubai, and European Commission, Belgium, Brussels, and Burj Khalifa, Arabian Emirates. All of this was done with our product. Some multi-apartment buildings and houses in Skolkovo in Russia. Well, all of this was done with our product. And of course, we have a lot of interesting cases. I just show you our website. Our website is iRidium.com, and you can check it. Here we have a YouTube channel. Of course, now I have it in Russian language because it's my settings. But on your side, it will be your languages. And here we have a playlist with some sample of some references about project. Each year we have iRidium Awards. It's like, I don't know, like Oscar. And you can check what kind of projects we have from our integrators. I mean about some real interface from real projects, from real houses. All of this was done via our integrators. And I think it's not about some interesting image from my presentation. I think you can check it on our website and our YouTube channel, and you can check it how it works in real projects. Okay, let's continue with the presentation. And what is it, i3 Pro? i3 Pro is the face of smart home, unique interface to control automation system from iOS, Android, Windows, and iOS 6. Animation, gestures, passwords, etc. A lot of different functions. You can see we have some GIF here about our projects. Wait a minute, okay. And first of all, multi-platform, it's about fast work from any device. It's a native graphics. What it means, it is not about HTML and some web server. As a native, it means that all drivers work in the panel. It means I can use it with server or without server. It means that my panel, like some iPad or Android devices or Windows machine, will have some driver inside. It's a very interesting function for small projects when you have some driver without a lot of panels, and you can use it without any additional costs. And response speed is faster as compared to HTML use as usual. Well, and it's a good, interesting feature, but of course it has some limitation because we have iOS, Android, Windows, OS X, but you can't use HTML web browser for controlling some devices. It's not possible. We always use some native path, native application. Of course, it was about some project, I mean from unique interface. And unique interface, it means that you can create anything. But if you have no time, no designer, for this case, we have a template. I just show you some example of templates on our website. It's available in download section. Download section, one moment, yes. And here, GUI. And as you can see, we have here some examples of templates, and some of them free, some of them paid. You can check it. Here we have some image with some price. This price for end user, MSRP price, for market price. Of course, for you as an integrator, you have a special discount. I will we will speak about a little bit later. Well, some images, and it means that you can make some project without special designer. But if you want, if you have time and budget, you can check some special things. It's interesting interface from our integrator. It's not about our designer. And here we have some example in video. Just check it a little bit. All of this made in our product. I mean, in our i3 Pro product, iRidium Pro. All of these effects, some GUI, some flow, user experience flow, all of this available in our product. Well, you can check it on our website, how it can be used on your case, what kind of things available for you. Okay, and of course, I just want to show you how it works in our emulator, because now I have emulator for i3 Pro application, and here I have some example of our template. It's a template slide, and it will be as a gift for you. I will show you some cases when it can be available. Well, it's a very simple things. I can use this slide for different images. I have some freeze here because it's all this with my mouse, but when you use some slide with a finger, I think it will be interesting and sexy. Okay, some pop-ups with some functionality, very simple, but you can check it and use for real project. And another one project, what I want to show you, it's a photorealistic interface. It looks like it's a Russian language because it's a real project from our Russian integrator. And you can check how it works. For example, it's a room. And here we have a photo case for real estate of this lamp. And of course, we can use a hole, for example. And again, here we have some realistic image. And of course, here I can use some functional interface like a plan, like a map, and I can check it some cases. And for example, here again, like some photorealistic and plus some real photo with a color. All of this available in our interface. The next things, it's about interface pseudo 3D. It's an interface for some hotel. And as you can see, we can use this pseudo 3D interface. You can check some functionality. And of course, here I have additional services like building services, and you can use some some menu, resources, etc. All of this can be used in real project. And the last one interface, which what I want to show you, it's some simple iOS interface. It's a white, very clear. It looks like some rooms with some things like level, some climate, some blinds, with some additional navigation, etc. Okay, the next things, it was about some possibility how it can be used in our templates. The next thing is about access to system token. We can use some system token on your panel. I mean, what is panel? Panel, it looks like your PC, your tablet, or mobile phone. And it's a native application, and it means that we have some things about battery level, about SSID, Wi-Fi network, about your 3G signal, etc., etc. And it means that we can use these things in our logic. Here we have an example how it can be used. If you have some mounted panel, wall-mounted panel, and you want to use some periodical charge, you can use for this some logic part, because, like, for example, you can start charging a well-mounted panel when the battery level is lower than 20. It's a very good thing, very good logic for iPad, because sometimes it has a problem with the battery, with the overcharging. Okay, the next thing is about multiple IP cameras support. Of course, we have support for IP cameras. It's about RTSP and HTTP stream, and about on-view cameras. All of these are supported, and it can be used in our native application. SIP calls, we use a standard SIP compatible intercom, a lot of different models, a lot of different brands. Actually, any brands which compatible with the SAP, and of course, we have in our documentation some examples, ready-made examples with how it can be used with the Open the Door, because some intercoms used HTTP requests, some DTMF code, or SAP tone. Something about setting logics, about logic part. Of course, if we have a server, it's not required, but it's very powerful tool for smart home. It's not about only visualization, but about smart home. We can use a block scheme. Block scheme, it's a very simple logic, some engineering level, and you can use it for your simple logic. Schedules, of course, it can be on time or repeated schedules that happen at set time with some Astro timer or something like interesting things. And routines, it looks like a logic, simple things about when, then, but only if. It looks like a simple but very powerful rules. It means that we can, when I have some event, then make some actions, but only if I have some state. And of course, if you have some special, something special level, very powerful, and I think without big limitation, because it's a very powerful tool, it's a GS engine inside our application. You can use this GS for programming some individual tasks, and it's allowed to realize complicated individual tasks. You can make some own driver to connect to equipment, because we have some transport level like UDP, TCP, serial driver, etc., and you can use it for any, I think, any IoT device if it has API, open API, or maybe API with NDA, and you can use it for own driver. And of course, all of this available for schedules and routines, etc. And actually, if you use a GS engine, you can connect our core with another different system, because you can make some special driver which can be used to API with Node-RED, with I don't know, with a Home Assistant, etc. It will be used like a HTTP API with own level of complicated. I mean, you can use a simple level like a push the new event, or you can make something very complicated, very powerful to improve it. And of course, in this case, you can use something like third-party scripts from another cases, etc. Because in our web server, in our application, you can use a very powerful command execute. It means that you can run something from your system, like a Linux bash code, like a Windows CMD command. All this available for our AGS engine. It's, of course, it's not about some like how to say it, like a Node.js. It's not about some server platform with free logic. Of course, it has some limitation, because all of this about some controller from not about some big servers with cloud solutions, etc. Sometimes we have some limitation, of course, but actually I'm sure that you can make a really powerful things. Okay, the next thing is about local and remote control. Actually, as I know, it's a very big problem for you as an installer and for some customer. And I know, and I can say that our server work with your equipment in local mode totally. I mean that you can make a project in local mode. You can use this project in local mode. We use our cloud solution only for transfer this project from your side to the customer side. I mean your customer can use it on your own phone, on your own tablet. In time, when you just finish this project and upload to the cloud, he can download this project, make a license, and after that he can use it totally offline. And of course, we understand your concern in the context of the current situation, but walking through the cloud is our approach to convenience and security. And of course, we comply with the requirements of GDPR and OWASP to ensure that data security. And we use European servers in Germany, and data and storage are depersonalized. And it means that you can use it totally offline. But if your customer want, because we live in a new world with cloud services, with remote access, etc., you can use secure remote control from any part of the world. In this case, you will have a connection via remote cloud control, and we have two main things. The first thing is all connections are outgoing. It means that it's hidden from an observer. It means that it's very secure for the customer because he hasn't any ports, open ports to outside, and all connections are outgoing. And the next thing, it's about we do not store data in the cloud. It looks like a VPN connection. It looks like a pipe. We just connect two things, application and the server, and he can use this pipe for connection. We just transfer some byte of information to each other, and it's all. We not store the data. Okay, the next thing, and one more thing about GS. We have some examples about GS code here in download section. We have GS modes, and it looks like tips, because you can use it if you want to make something individual. We have a native driver, so it means that this driver was done via C++ code. It's our native stack. But if you want, you can make something special in GS. And here we have some example with authentication, with some integration with cloud services, some integration with some secure connection with encryption, etc. It's just an example. And of course, we have a documentation here, wiki documentation. Documentation available now on Russian language, on English language, and on German language. But of course, we on the Dutch language. And of course, for now, we work with the French documentation. And here we have a lot of documentation about product, how it can be used, how you can improve your installation, what can be improved in your logic part. And here we have information about native drivers and some about equipment, a lot of information, always available here. And of course, our tech support work for your questions. The next things, it's about voice control. You can add a voice control to installation. For now, it's available for Amazon Alexa and Google Home. And we are in process of certification with HomeKit, Apple HomeKit. Actually, it was done 2 years ago, but now we are in a certification process because early it was just like a non-certified project. But now we are in this process, and I hope it will be available in some weeks or months. The next things about drivers for professional system are written in C++. It's some database. I showed it in our documentation, and some of them here: KNX, Z-Wave, ZigBee, etc. And of course, we have some limitation with it actually, because for example, if you have a server, then you can use some Z-Wave or ZigBee, and of course, it's not available for your panel because panel hasn't Z-Wave port, Z-Wave chip, etc. The next things, it's all about i3 Pro, and as you can see, it's very powerful tool for very individual, very unique with unique interface. But of course, we have a simple project, simple tool for KNX market. In this case, it will be work with a server only, and it's for cases when you want and make a KNX smart home in 1 day. Just 1 day with a very fast way. Just when you use some already widgets, some styles, etc. Well, here we have a list with equipment like a KNX and BIOS, IP cameras, Sonos, TV Samsung via IP, not about IR, just IP level with feedbacks, and SIP-intercoms. And this equipment support 1000 KNX group addresses and 25 panels. And we have here two styles, white and black, and you can use it in your installation. It means that you just add some some type of device like a relay, dimmer, etc. But of course, you can change some image, some photo, make a photo. You can make some oven heater, etc. And actually, KNX Home Server available for some languages, and we support different languages. And of course, if we talk about i3 Pro, if about iRidium Pro application, I have here iRidium Studio, and it looks like IDE about a project, and you can check that we have some things here, like some languages which support for this studio, but actually you can use a text for this. For example, I have here text, and I can change it to any language. You can use French, you can use Dutch, you can use English, you can use Chinese or Japanese. And actually we have support Arabic, I mean with right to left, some like a Yiddish, etc. And you can use it in this application. It means you have no limitation with language in i3 Pro, but you have some limitation here in KNX Home Server with these languages. The next thing is about, again, local control and remote control. And of course, it can be works with local connection inside, but it will be available to control some equipment in remote control if you want. But if you want, it can be forbidden. And it has some logic part, for sure. It's about routines, schedules, simple timers like alarms, and scene markers. And actually, on this home server, end user can edit these timers, schedules, some markers and routines if you want. If you grant access for this user, for this end user, that he can just just use these rules, it's okay. But if you want, you can grant access to the to these things, to this functional block with an edit role. The next things, how to earn with iRidium Mobile. Well, the first things, it's about find a certified specialist. I think the good idea to be a certified specialist. For now, we have 1,000 plus specialists in whole world. But if you just start with our product, you can check here on this web page on our website in support and find a dealer. You can check here, and you can check who is available in your country. For example, in France, and find a specialist. Okay, here we have just some guys. Okay, and it's a first way how you can earn with it. But how? It means that when you are a specialist, when you are installer, you have a discount with licenses. And of course, you have some profit with your work, with when you make a project, when you work with a customer with a project. Of course, all of this part for you, and we have some part about license payments. Well, it's first things. It's about our calculator. This example for calculator for i3 Pro. It's mean iRidium Pro solution. We have a calculator in your account. Here we have visualization, for example, when you use visualization without server, we have a configurator, and you can play with it. For example, a license. We have some things about license, but actually just for your convenience, you can check it. This is the license for one panel. We have a license politic about some things, like the first thing is about how many panels will be used. The panel, it's about like a slot. It means when I log in some panel, it means I have a slot in license. Okay, I have one panel. If I want to change this mobile phone to another one, I just I should log out from this application, and it means that I will make it free in slot, and I can use it again in another phone. Well, actually, one panel is very rare things. Usually, we have 5 panels in our in small house, for example. And the next thing is about which drivers will be used. The first very simple way, it's about simple license with the drivers like some transport level. I mean, you can make own driver in GS with the transport TCP, UDP, etc. And some drivers with the IP cameras, with the MQTT, SIP-intercom, etc. In this case, this price, it's an end user price. If you will have a status for integrator, here you will have some discount. And we have a 3 level for discount: a bronze level, a silver, and gold. And of course, the bronze is a small discount, silver it's a little bit more, and gold it's a good discount for you. And it means that your customer will see this price in our website. Okay. And what about drivers? Of course, if I will use some driver, for example, if I want to use a KNX driver, okay, my price is another one. Or I want to use some, I don't know, Modbus driver, a new price, etc. And you can play with it. The next thing about price for server, for the server, when for server we have some options, because our server, it's a software, it looks like exe file, some pack, and you can make it, you can license it like a software. You can use own PC, own hardware, and we have support for Raspberry Pi hardware, P3, or you can use some our own hardware, UMC hardware, or you can use some hardware from Windows or Linux machine, like a NUC, like barebone things, or you can use own notebook for this. All of this available for these things. And of course, you can make it for software. It's the same things about panel license, and about drivers. But additional things, it's about tags. What it means? The tags, it's a number of server tags which are used on the iRidium server in a time. It means each feedback in your driver, it's one tag, like a feedback about lamp, feedback about dimmer, feedback about temperature, etc. And of course, you can check it in our application, and actually you can use it on the server. And of course, you can play it on your side and play with the price. The next thing's about product KNX Home Server. Here, KNX Home Server. KNX Home Server available with hardware only. It can't be used without this hardware. And here, as you can see, this is a maximal license, and you can use 25 panels with 1,000 group addresses. All drivers is available by default, and this is end user price with a server. Okay, and the next things we will. What next? What is the next step for you? The first step, I think, it will be good for you. It's a registration process because if you will make this registration today, it will be available. I just text a link to the chat. If you will make a poll, if you will text in a poll and finish a registration, you will have a gift from our site. It's a silver status. It means that you will start from a good discount for your price. It's a good things for your site. And the next things, the next step, what I want to show you, it's about online course. It's a certificated course. And this is available in our website, on our website, support online courses. It's our academy. We have a free courses here, like here and here, but we talk about 4 weeks course because it's a certifying process for you, and you can buy it online. Of course, it's an online course for 4 weeks. And actually, the price, it's not so big, I think. And actually, it's a very powerful course for you, and you will have some gift, some interface, some template, additional discount, certificate of iRidium Pro, and additional part, it's a gift, slide and slide version 2 template. I mean that after that, you will have this this interface, this template as a gift. The next flow, next branch of this webinar will be from March 1st. It means that just you have 2 days to decide it will be interesting for you or not.